Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 615? 15, yeah. Welcome to day 15 of Tales from the Quarantine. My little boogie through the COVID-19 quarantine that we got going on here. So I actually wanted to just do some housekeeping for just a second. I realized that I've been sort of haven't like the last few days haven't really been that sort of on the nose. It's kind of just occurred to me like late in the evening, you're like, oh shit, I've got to do the thing again. But yeah, so of course, it's the nature of projects for the scope and the execution to change a little bit. But I kind of want to focus in a little bit. Refine my actions, make this a little bit more applicable to the original goal of the project, rather than just how is Daniel doing today sort of thing. Because so now we're on day 15. We've definitely made some significant progress in the quarantine. I certainly have lots of feelings about it, lots of thoughts and just things that I'd like to share, as was the original purpose of this video series. So here we are on day 15. Today was definitely kind of a rough one. I was in bed all day with a hangover. Yeah, not a good look, I know. But that's what you get for drinking lots of rum and lots of wine late into the night. To make me sound a little less sad, this was with someone, like over a video call. It's not that I was just sort of like, sitting in my quiet apartment at 2 in the morning drinking another glass of wine. But to that point, actually, something that I've noticed and something that I've been talking about with other people about, is that I think in a situation like this, especially because of the sort of like daily structure of responsibilities is so different, you sort of have to be careful with your consumption of drugs of different kinds. Obviously, if you're taking prescription drugs, don't forget to take your prescription drugs. Those things are important. If you're just, sort of using drugs in a non-medical, recreational way, then I think it's definitely important to really pay attention and really just sort of be a little bit reflective about how you're using drugs. In my case, I wouldn't say that I'm, using/drinking alcohol problematically. I wouldn't go that far, but certainly, been drinking more than I usually do, which, in terms of health, in terms of general mental well-being, maybe not a good idea. I'm against sort of hard and fast rules of, I'm gonna not drink for like this amount of time, or like I'm gonna not do this for this amount of time. But I usually just try and be more sort of proactive or more sort of purposeful in the way that I use drugs. That is certainly the case, or my current case, with alcohol. I'm sort of have plans to ride things back a little bit, to not be, to not drink as much. Again, I wouldn't say that you have a problematic use, but it's something that I've noticed, something that has made me slightly uncomfortable, and so something that I'm going to sort of take action to address. And so I'd be interested in hearing from other people what their experience with this has been like. I think that a lot of the initial jokes at the beginning of the quarantine would be like, okay, let's bring out the wine, my friends. In fact, a lot of producers, lots of beer producers, for one, I know, especially here in Mexico, Corona, which makes not only the Corona beer but also many other kinds of beer, is going to stop producing beer for a while. I don't know if they're switching over to other kinds of business, like if they're going to be making things so as to help the war effort, or if they're just going to close down sort of in accordance with the non-essential business rules. I don't know. But what I do know is that they're going to stop making beer. So there's a good chance that the beer section in lots of tienditas and grocery stores around here are going to be looking pretty bare. So, that simultaneously makes me want to stock up and, supports my sort of thinking of not drinking anymore. But I guess we'll see how that goes. I saw a few, fake articles, one in Atlanta, for example, about how they were going to try and ban alcohol sales. I don't think that seems to be the case. I think it would be really dumb. I think it would be it would be extremely dumb for people, for cities, localities, whatever, to stop, to ban the sale of alcohol. In most cases I've seen, they're actually expanding it, as in, like, I think North Carolina, for example, which has fairly restrictive alcohol laws, has announced that they're going to allow people to order alcohol over, like, with delivery, as long as it's with food. So, what do you know? But anyway, that's the sort of thought of the day. Is that I am like, this is something that's on my mind, and I just wonder if it's on your minds as well. If your sort of patterns of consumption of whatever drugs you take has changed, either for the better or for the worse, during the quarantine. That's what's on my mind today. But that's day 15 for Tales from the Quarantine. Again, I'm gonna try and clean up my act a little bit with these videos, try and make them a little bit more succinct, try and make them a little bit more topical. But yeah, that's what's on my mind today. So thank you for joining me for day 15. I'll see you tomorrow for day 16.